If you're over 60, I need you to hear me because the first 30 minutes of your morning may be silently putting your heart and brain at serious risk. As a doctor who's spent over 4 decades caring for older adults, I've seen it far too many times. Strokes, heart attacks, falls, memory loss, all triggered by habits that feel completely normal. Habits like reaching for your phone, skipping breakfast, standing up too fast, or sipping your coffee before you've had water. And the truth is, most seniors don't even know they're in danger. These aren't dramatic mistakes. They're quiet, familiar moments, but they come with life-changing consequences. I'm Dr. Thomas, and today, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to beg you, please stop these 5 habits that can triple your risk of stroke after age 60, because I've seen the cost of ignoring them, and I've seen the power of small changes that save lives. So stay with me. Just a few minutes today could protect your independence tomorrow and help you live the rest of your years with strength, clarity, and peace. Let's begin with the one thing almost every senior overlooks, and it starts with an empty plate. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Skipping breakfast. Skipping breakfast might seem like a harmless choice. Some seniors tell me, "Doctor, I just don't feel hungry in the morning." But what they don't realize is that skipping that first meal, especially after age 60, can quietly push your body closer to a stroke without any warning signs. After sleeping for 7 to 9 hours, your body is already in a state of fasting. Your blood sugar is low, your brain hasn't received fresh energy, and your blood becomes thicker due to overnight dehydration. Now, when you skip breakfast, your body interprets it as stress. It releases cortisol and adrenaline, those fight or flight hormones. The result? Your blood pressure spikes, your heart pumps harder, and your arteries constrict. For someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond, this is a dangerous combination. Let me tell you about one of my former patients, Harold. He was 72, retired Navy, proud and strong, but he had a habit of skipping breakfast for years, saying, "I'm tough, I don't need it." One morning, after skipping breakfast again and mowing his lawn on an empty stomach, he collapsed. He suffered a mild stroke. When we reviewed his habits, the biggest red flag was his empty mornings. His heart had been overworking every day without fuel, and eventually it couldn't keep up. This isn't rare. Studies have shown that seniors who skip breakfast have significantly higher risks of stroke, heart attack, and memory problems. Your brain needs steady glucose, not highs and crashes. Your heart needs stability, not sudden surges. Something as small as half a banana, a boiled egg, or a piece of whole wheat toast within the first hour of waking can keep your blood pressure more stable and your risk lower. You don't have to eat a full meal. Just don't let your body run on empty. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't reach for your phone. Don't grab your coffee first. Sit down, take a breath, and give your body something, anything, to tell it. You're safe, you're supported. Because the truth is, your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. And speaking of mornings, there's another habit that seems harmless, but it's quietly harming your brain within seconds of waking up. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Holding your urine. First thing in the morning. I've been a physician for over 40 years, and I still find myself shocked at how something so simple, like delaying a trip to the bathroom, can cause such devastating harm in older adults. Holding your urine in the morning isn't just uncomfortable, it can be dangerously triggering for your heart and brain. And yet, It's something so many of my patients do without thinking. I once treated a patient named Margaret, 79 years old. Sweet, independent, widowed for a decade, she lived alone and prided herself on not needing help. One morning, she told me, she woke up around 6:30 a.m., but stayed in bed scrolling through her phone, ignoring the growing pressure in her bladder. 15 minutes later, she stood up quickly and collapsed. Her blood pressure had spiked so severely from the strain of holding her urine that she suffered a transient ischemic attack, a warning stroke. Thankfully, she recovered, but her story stayed with me. Here's what really happens in the body. When your bladder is full, especially after a night of no urination, it starts to push against surrounding organs. This triggers a sharp rise in sympathetic nervous system activity, meaning your body enters a fight or flight state. For older adults whose arteries may already be stiff and narrow, this surge in blood pressure and vascular stress can be the last straw, resulting in a stroke or even heart failure. Some seniors think it's fine to wait it out, or they're just too tired to get up. But here's the truth: the longer you delay that first bathroom visit, the more pressure you're putting on your cardiovascular system, and at a time when your body is already at its most vulnerable. Right after waking, your blood is more viscous, your circulation is sluggish, and your brain needs oxygen rich blood. Adding bladder strain to that moment is like overloading an engine with no oil. Margaret now keeps her slippers by her bedside and goes straight to the bathroom before doing anything else. That tiny change gave her peace of mind and may have saved her from a future, more serious stroke. If you're over 60, don't wait. When you feel the urge, go. Think of it not as a chore, but as the first step in protecting your heart, your brain, and your independence. And speaking of protecting your brain, what if I told you your morning cup of coffee might be doing more harm than good if you drink it too soon? Let me explain why. 3. Drinking coffee or tea before water. Coffee is a cherished ritual in many of our lives. I understand that. The warmth, the comfort, the sense of routine, it's how millions of us start the day. But if you're over 60 and the first thing you put into your body each morning is a cup of coffee or tea, before even a sip of water, you may be unknowingly increasing your risk of stroke. Let me explain this clearly because this is something I've seen too many times. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated, your blood is more concentrated, your heart and brain are operating on low fluid volume. When you add caffeine to that dry system, you're compounding the problem. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it pulls even more water from your body. Your blood becomes thicker, your vessels constrict, your blood pressure spikes, and your brain, the organ that needs oxygen and hydration most, starts to suffer. I once had a patient, Bill, 67, recently retired, full of energy but stubborn about his routines. Every morning for decades, he drank a large mug of black coffee before anything else. He skipped water, said he didn't like the taste of it. One morning, just 3 weeks after his retirement, he had a mini stroke while sitting at his kitchen table. His blood pressure had surged, and the neurologist told me his brain simply wasn't getting the oxygen it needed. When I reviewed his daily habits, the pattern was clear: no hydration, caffeine first, years of unnoticed strain. That morning cup you love doesn't have to go away, but the timing matters. Your body, especially as it ages, needs hydration first. Just one glass of room temperature water can begin to flush out toxins, loosen thickened blood, and stabilize your system before any stimulant enters it. You can even add a few drops of lemon juice or a pinch of sea salt to help replenish electrolytes gently. Then, after 15 or 20 minutes, enjoy your coffee or tea, but not before. Bill now keeps a glass of water on his nightstand. He drinks it before even stepping out of bed. That one habit, he says, makes him feel more alert, more balanced, and far less jittery after his coffee. So ask yourself tomorrow morning, am I nourishing my body or stressing it the moment I wake up? Because that difference might be what protects your brain for the years to come. And speaking of stress, the next habit is one I see all the time in older adults, and it's happening before they even leave the bed. It's quick, it's subtle, and it's far more dangerous than people realize. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Checking your phone or tea first thing in the morning. We live in a world of screens, phones, televisions, tablets, and for many older adults, checking the news or reading messages has become the first thing they do upon waking. But I urge you, as a doctor and as someone who has cared for seniors for decades, please don't reach for your phone before your body is ready. The early morning hours are a fragile time for your cardiovascular system. Blood pressure is naturally higher after waking. Your heart is transitioning from a resting state to full activity, and your brain is still reorienting after hours of sleep. Now imagine, in that delicate state, you suddenly flood your senses with breaking news, political tension, bad weather, or a worrisome message from family. That instant surge of stress triggers a spike in cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. Your blood vessels constrict, your heart races, and your blood, already slightly thickened from dehydration, becomes more prone to clot. This is the exact storm we try to avoid in stroke prevention. One of my longtime patients, Edna, 74, came to me after experiencing dizziness and shortness of breath multiple mornings in a row. Her vitals were fine at first glance, but her blood pressure would surge shortly after waking. After sitting down with her and going over her routine, the pattern emerged. Every morning, she would wake up and immediately check her phone. The first thing she saw? Alarming headlines or stressful family messages. Her body was reacting to stress before it had even stood up from bed. I had her change just one thing. For the first 20 minutes of her day, no screen, no phone, no TV. Instead, I asked her to sit by a window, drink water, breathe deeply, or even step outside if possible. 2 weeks later, her morning blood pressure readings dropped significantly. She told me, "It's the first time I felt calm waking up in years." The truth is, your brain isn't built to process the chaos of the world before it is even adjusted to the day, especially not after age 60. Give it a moment of stillness, a moment of peace. Your heart and your brain will thank you. Now, speaking of mornings, there's one more habit that too many seniors see as normal, but it may be the most physically dangerous of them all. And it starts the moment your feet hit the floor. 5. Getting out of bed too quickly. Of all the morning habits I warn my senior patients about, this one might seem the most harmless, and yet it's among the most dangerous. Getting out of bed too quickly, right after opening your eyes, might feel like a sign of strength or independence. But after the age of 60, it can silently set the stage for fainting, falls, or even a stroke. Let me walk you through what's really happening inside your body when you wake up. During sleep, your blood pressure drops, your heart slows, and your circulation shifts into a lower gear. The moment you wake, your system needs time to adjust. But if you sit up fast or stand too quickly, gravity pulls blood down into your legs faster than your body can respond. In younger people, the heart kicks in quickly to correct this. But in older adults, especially those with stiff arteries, irregular heart rhythms, or low hydration, this sudden drop in brain blood flow can be catastrophic. I'll never forget John, a 76-year-old patient of mine. He was in generally good health, lived alone, and took pride in staying active. One morning, he woke up, swung his legs off the bed, and stood up in one swift motion, like he'd done for years. But this time, he collapsed within seconds. When paramedics arrived, he was disoriented and couldn't speak clearly. He'd suffered what we call a hypoperfusion episode, where the brain gets too little oxygen too fast. It triggered a mild stroke. His recovery was long, and though he eventually returned to walking, he told me something I'll never forget. I didn't know moving too fast could change everything. That story changed how I talk to all my patients. Now I teach what I call the 1-minute rule. When you first wake up, stay lying down. Breathe deeply for 10 to 20 seconds. Then slowly roll to your side. Sit up. Let your feet rest on the ground for 30 seconds before standing. Give your body time to catch up with your mind. It may feel slow, but in this case, slow is safe. That minute could be the difference between a normal morning and a trip to the ER, between independence and a wheelchair. And as we come to the end of these morning dangers, I want to share one final truth, one final warning, and one message of hope. Because while these habits may increase your stroke risk, you hold the power to reverse them, starting tomorrow morning. The most important minutes of your day begin when you wake. If you've watched this far, I want to thank you, not just for your time, but for your willingness to take control of your health. Because the truth is, strokes don't just happen out of nowhere. They build slowly, quietly, through small daily habits that we often ignore, especially in the early hours of the morning when our bodies are most fragile. But what's equally true is this: you are never too old, never too late, and never too powerless to make a change. You've learned today about 5 habits that may seem harmless, but can quietly strain your heart, thicken your blood, spike your pressure, and rob your brain of the oxygen it needs. I've seen these patterns in my own patients, good people, strong people, who paid the price for habits they didn't know were hurting them. But I've also seen the incredible power of change. 1 glass of water before coffee, a slow rise from bed, a bite of food in the first hour. These are not dramatic fixes, but they are life-saving rituals, and they are fully within your control. You deserve mornings that protect you, not push you closer to danger. You deserve to wake up feeling clear, steady, and safe. So tomorrow, don't start with fear. Start with wisdom. Start with intention. Your next morning might just be the most important one yet. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.